Welcome to this meeting of Shepreth Parish Council.
Turn my phone off.
A couple of housekeeping notes. You're being filmed and the Parish Council are making their own recording this evening. Okay, so push ahead. Apologies for absence. Just have one from Sean. And I've had an email from Susan saying she might be a bit late. And I've not had anything from Philippa, but I don't know where she is. Okay, just one thing. The email from Susan was saying, could we bring item 469 forward, which is speeding in Barrington Road, because she wanted to do that and she's got to go home.
She has to leave early, yes.
She's got to leave early or something as well. So, if has anybody got an objection to bringing that item forward? Okay,
no,
fine. Okay, to receive declarations of interest from councillors. Has anybody got any interest to declare on any matters on the agenda this evening? Okay. 641, to approve the minutes of the meeting the 12th of March. Is everybody happy for me to sign these minutes as a true record of the meeting?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, updates and decisions and actions from the previous meeting. Maria, you've got a few of those to go through, haven't you?
Yes.
So, if you want to start.
The annual parish meeting is confirmed for the 30th of April, and all the guests have been invited. I think most of them have confirmed and they're coming. I'm just waiting to hear back from one. Another item is the sort of issues with regards to the weight limit on the bridge, and there's going to be a meeting next week with Cambridgeshire County Council, and a couple of the councillors are attending to sort that out. I've also been in contact with Stephen Day about moving the mound on Collins Close, and he said he'd get back to us with a weekend date that he can do, as long as 3 or 4 of us can be there to help marshal it. But he hasn't got back to me yet.
Take the fence down, somebody will, won't they?
Yes, yeah, he's just got to let us know what date first.
If you tell me, I'll help there.
Oh yeah, I will. Thank you.
Yeah, or part of the fence.
Yeah.
I think he wants someone to be there to marshal it as well, to keep the children off the playground while he does it.
Down,
Yeah, close down the playground.
What else was there? The safety matting at the roundabout on the old school field. There's going to be a site visit next week, and then if that all goes to plan, this will be installed at the beginning of May. So I will update the Shepreth Open Gardens Committee this week. Is that the right word? The website meeting will hopefully take place the beginning of May. That's slightly delayed, and also the bank transfer is slightly delayed because I'm at the moment doing the audit, so that has a lot of paperwork and banking to deal with. So I thought best to do the transfer once this has happened, rather than trying to do it at the same time. That's it, thank you.
Okay, the other thing is that the notice period has now expired with regard to calling an election for the replacement of Teresa. So we are now free to proceed with the co-option procedure, which you are going to start tomorrow.
That's right, yeah. The first thing is I will put up a notice on the notice boards inviting anyone to sort of put themselves forward for co-option, and they will need to contact me, and then I will send them a letter with more details, and this will all take place at the next meeting in May. So whoever would like to volunteer just needs to let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a procedure which I'll send you.
If anybody wants the procedure as well.
Yeah.
Is that available on the
It's actually
website?
not on the website.
Can we upload that to the website?
Yeah, I can upload it to the website, yeah.
I think we should have the procedure uploaded to the website if we can, so everybody's got it in full. The only other thing I've got from decisions and updates from the last meeting is, I'm going to ask Bob actually a question, because you said, Bob, that if we wanted to spend any surplus funds, we've got to get 52% of the electorate's agreement to do it.
I didn't.
No.
I didn't.
Oh, what was it you said then?
Check the film.
I did check the
No.
film.
You didn't check the film.
It's
I said
52%
52%
of
of parishioners
the people that actually
voted.
So if you want to spend any surplus
Oh, come on, it's basic, man, it's basic.
It's
100 people vote, you need 52 to make a majority.
not not the whole village.
I never said the
Because
village.
not everybody
Douglas
will
said-
vote.
No, it's fine. I'm just trying to get it right. That's all in my head because I wanted to make sure.
Douglas is the boy who got it wrong.
And I was involved.
She did, yeah.
He wrote to me and said, "Why? Can you give me legal proof that I require 52% majority of the village?" I never said that.
No, it's parishioners, it's whoever votes. Not everybody
You
will
mean
vote.
So 52% of
No,
voters.
Anybody who votes, you need a 52%
Who
majority to carry
reply,
the day.
who
So if you want to spend any surplus funds, you've got to hold a
Are we
referendum.
talking reserves?
Yeah.
We haven't got surplus funds.
Or reserves.
Yeah.
You've got to have a referendum in the village.
That's up to you.
But if you plan to do it,
But
you
if it's
need
their money, yes.
52%, yeah.
Well, it is their money.
Well, it
Yeah,
is their money, but what I got confused with here, and I just want to make sure we do it right, is I couldn't find anything about that. And I checked with Patrick Adams, and he couldn't find anything about it either. He's written me an email here.
Well, I'll email it to you if you like.
Okay,
It says all you've got to put in is majority. That's all you've got to put in.
No, he wants to know where it's written down.
Right?
I'm just trying to get my head around this. I'm sorry, I'm totally lost.
Type in majority on your computer.
No,
and that'll tell you the answer.
No, I don't want to do that. What I'm trying to say is that if you want to spend some money, what you're saying is if you want to spend some money, you've got to get 52% of the electorate of the village
Of the
to
people
agree
that
with
vote.
you. Of the electorate, yeah?
Not
So if
the
we
people
choose
that
to
vote in
spend-
an election.
No, not the electorate. Let's get it right. Not the electorate. 52% of the people that vote.
Voted.
In
That
other
is the
words, that
electorate.
That is the
No,
reply.
it's not. The electorate is the whole
Everybody.
village.
We blanketed the village.
Do we know who voted?
How do we know who voted?
Secret, isn't it?
If we,
How do we know who voted?
I think if we,
Well,
this is
you're
going
going
a
to
bit of a
send
wild
something
goose
out, I
chase.
presume, and ask them what they want to do.
this is what I think, what Bob's saying is, if we
Julie
say,
knows what it's
for example, I want the recreation ground swings painted.
Right.
So, we'll hit the village, saying, we'd like the swings painted, it's going to be taken out of the reserve or whatever fund it is. Could you, yes or no, within a date? We're still 385 I think there is in the village, and we'll get 6 back saying yes,
So it's
and 3 saying no.
So what you're saying is every
responsible.
time we want to do
That is
something,
what Bob's saying.
Yeah, but I don't think that's not the case.
No, it's not the case. It's
No.
if you want to spend the public's precept on something, you need the villagers to vote. And the ones that reply, you've got to have 52% for.
okay. So just so I get my head around this, if we want to paint the swings and spend the money on it,
No, you've already got the money
No,
for
you've
that.
got the money for that.
right?
That's
So
already been granted.
okay, if we wanted to,
Buy a wheelbarrow.
yeah, something that's not on the budget, something that's not on the
Yeah.
precept. So we wanted to buy an outside toilet to put on the recreation ground. I'm just picking something stupid. We would then have to send a note round to the whole village that we want to buy an outside toilet.
If you're going to use the
For children.
If you're going to
reserves,
use
yes.
the reserves. In other words, the precept that's over.
And where does it say that?
That should have been.
Well, I
I
just wanted to make sure I got this right, and I spoke to Patrick Adams, and he said here, Tony, I've consulted local council administration and Charles Arnold Baker, and I've spoken to our senior lawyer, who is also a parish clerk, and I cannot find any evidence of any rules that prevents the spending of reserves without the permission of the electorate.
What do you mean without the permission? That's what we're saying. You need the permission.
No, I can't find any evidence of reserves with spending without the permission, so you don't have to get the permission.
Well, then you could do
Could
exactly
you,
what
could
you
you
want.
give
So that's
us
why we
chapter
voted
and
on the
verse
council.
where this is written down, the point
Pardon?
you're making? Can you give us chapter and verse
You
of
will.
what your
No,
State.
what-
I'll give you that.
not just
I'll give you that. If
majority
you
into
could,
the web?
that's what I got. So just, because I'm only trying to clarify.
Are you going to put something in the
Well,
No, I
that's
just wanted to
beside
make sure
the
that if we
point.
do something, we do it right. That's all. That's all I was trying to do.
Are there any more updates?
Okay, all right, no
That's it.
problem at all.
Yeah.
Okay, public participation.
Right.
Open to the audience. No?
Quick job.
All right, next
I
one.
take it.
David.
I take it the district council will be updating us on the Field Cup field
I
situation.
will.
I think that will be.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Is this public?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I want to just say something.
Okay, all right.
No, it's
Oh, sorry.
the late comer.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just want to say something. I'm not satisfied with the way you dealt with my complaint because more details have come to light, which negates both of your replies, particularly, well, both of them. I will be writing to Maria tomorrow, so just to let you know.
No problem. Anybody else? No. Okay. Right. To receive to receive reports from county and district councillors. Who wants to go first?
It isn't very long.
It is.
Sorry?
It is or it isn't?
It isn't very long for Jimmy. The station ramp, we were told that the work should start next week on the 13th. That's the date we've been given. It will take about 10 days. I think I told you a little bit about it last time. It takes about 10 days, and since that's the access to the station and the ticket machine, they can't block off the access. So they'll be building the ramp, and then when they get to the point where they need to be in the stairwell, blocking off the access, they'll do that in the middle of the night when there are no trains running. So hopefully it'll start next week. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't, but it is getting close. And you've probably seen the work they've done on the other side of the tracks with the new fencing and stuff. I don't know what that's about, but anyway, hopefully they've done what they're meant to do to the poppy garden. So we'll see what happens. And then I only have two very general items from the County Council which are not specific to Shepreth, but I will tell you about them anyway. The cost of putting down double yellow lines or changing a traffic sign, why does it cost so much money? So the cost of putting down 30 metres of double yellow lines in any village they have to allocate about £2,000. And what I hadn't understood before is, well, we know that a lot of that cost is the advert that goes in the local paper. And a few years ago, the Secretary of State in government tried to change the system so that we didn't have to have adverts in local papers anymore. But there was a very big lobby from the print media, and they won out. And the government minister, whoever it was, did not change the system. So we still have to pay for the advert for a change in the traffic regulation order to be printed in the local media, which is our taxpayers' money at a time when we're making all these horrible cuts. And I don't think it should be spent that way in any case now that we have websites and free ways of communicating. It is being revisited a little bit, and Cambridgeshire is an area where they're looking at working out some kind of compromise, but I still don't think that's good enough. We shouldn't be propping up, we shouldn't be doing this like that. So I just thought I'd let you know how that works. And then the other thing, you may have seen some publicity about Cambridge Central Library. I don't know if you are interested in that, but it is our main county library with, there are more resources there than there are in any other library. Because of all the cuts that have to be made, the library service is looking at ways of trying to make money inside the libraries. And so there's been a lot of work on putting something called an enterprise centre on the 3rd floor of the Lineyard Library. And this would be run by a private company. And you would only be able to use that enterprise centre, which is to develop small and medium-sized businesses and adult skills and a bunch of things like that. But you can only access the service if you pay for it. And that's the way that things are going, but there's been a problem with this particular piece of work in that the proposal has been developed without councillors being involved at all, and I'm on the small committee that has to approve it, and I didn't feel that I could vote for it because just a few weeks before the decision we were given some commercially confidential papers saying this is the company we've been working with for a year and a half. They're going to be running this fee-based business on the 3rd floor of the library, you must accept this proposal because we need to make savings. But there wasn't enough information and the company wasn't there to answer questions. And so I propose that we defer until we have more information. I know this sounds like a lot of dull committee work, but that's the kind of work we have to do. And this is an important change in the way that libraries will be run, and so it seemed important to put the brakes on for a little while until we know more. Unfortunately, my proposal was voted down, but now there is what's called a call-in, where you can ask the council basically to review the due process involved in that decision making. So I just thought I would let you know that's the story behind what you may have read in the paper. And that's it.
Can I ask Susan a question regarding the station?
Absolutely.
I know you're very friendly with British Rail. 4 times. Network Rail, British Rail, them trains at the end of the street. 4 times in the last fortnight, that machine's been down.
Yeah, I actually...
3 times I've been stopped by the little man on the train saying, I'm going to fine you £20. I said, pick your window because you're not charging me £20.
Right.
I phoned, there's a button what you press.
The help thing.
And I got a foreigner 4 times. So I thought that was, you know, I mean, me talking to a foreigner is like, but there's a woman.
They probably did. That's what they said.
But Foxton's has been down as well. 4 times in the last fortnight, because I've been using the train a lot at the moment. It's been down, but there's no button or no facility to phone up and say, look, this ticket machine's.
Okay.
So I'm still waiting for money back off them.
Okay.
It's just something to put forward to them because a lot of people from the village and Foxton have been stopped by the security guard who's not very helpful, saying £20, £20.
Yep.
The machine's not working. Can you prove it?
Jimmy, did you use a card and it still didn't work, or did you not have cash?
I did use card. I did put a £20 note in, and I got £1.75. I was only going to Royston. It was great fun that morning.
So what didn't work about the machine?
The machine was full, and then I tried using my bank card just to go to Royston. So I put a £20 note in and just spit about £1.75 out. I got on the train.
Okay.
I got as far as Meldreth, and this bloke says, "Where's your ticket?" I said, "I ain't got £20." I says, "Look, you ain't getting £20."
Right.
And I got off at Royston, spoke to them. They were really helpful.
Yep.
I come back, I phoned the network, whatever the number. I says, "There's no facility on the station. It's just if the machine's not working."
Yep.
They're not very good machines.
Pick it up and say, "Look, check the station's out." So that it gets down the line, so people aren't getting fined these £20 and all the rest of it when it's not their fault.
I'm really glad you mentioned it. I almost put it in my report, because I put it in my report for Foxton tonight.
I know there's a lady got on, she was on the train with me when she got stopped by the security guard.
Okay.
It didn't work at Foxton either.
No.
There are problems at Foxton, Shepreth
Shepreth.
and Meldreth, and none of them are taking coins. And you're the third person who's told me that they've been stopped in an unfriendly and unfair manner.
There should be, I mean, there used to be a phone that you picked up. I mean, I've sussed it now. I take a photograph of the board in the machine.
Good, good. But you shouldn't have to, and you shouldn't be treated like that.
It's trust.
And it should be an oyster system as well.
So the Rail User Group is here to help you.
It's just that.
And even though some of us are foreigners, we're still willing to help. So we will take that back for you.
Thank you, Susan. I've brought.
Could I just ask one?
Sorry. Yeah.
Did I get it wrong, or did you say when we was talking about doing the Mill Bridge and Falmere Road? I thought you said that you were going to repair the Mill Bridge, which you did, and you made a cracking job of it. But you also said that you was going to tar and stone Falmere Road, but that hasn't been done.
Yes, those are two separate jobs.
Oh, so that's going to be done.
I'm told that it's going to be done. Yeah, and I know that a lot of that type of job is going to be done over the summer.
Okay. Well, I didn't know
they may have
about
done that as a priority. We get quite a lot of information, but
well, that's fine.
yeah, but
if
it is
it's in
supposed
hand,
to be
that's
done.
all I'm worried about.
It is supposed to be done.
But it seems a long while ago.
I know. That's probably because I told you about it as soon as I heard about it, because it was so exciting.
Well, sorry.
Thank you, Susan. I brought forward the Barrington Road bit because you want to skedaddle, don't you?
Thank you.
Is that okay? Philippa, sorry. Thank you.
Well, I'd just like to note that Susie made her report without notes tonight.
Yeah, the aid of auto
An
cue.
election is in the offing if we make any.
And she kept it short as well.
She did. I'm going to go through mine. I know that the parish council members have received this, but I will go through it, particularly the Phil Cup Field piece for the public and the camera. You may recall we took part in an Article 4 consultation, which is about protecting our village amenities, really our public houses. I attended the committee which reported on this public consultation. There was a good response across the district with 256 responses in total being received. There was overwhelming support for the application of Article 4 directions. Now this means that if theoretically the plough or the green man applied or shut down and applied for planning permission for residential use, South Cambs can now step in and protect them from that happening, or protect the village from that happening, because the pub is perceived to be a vital amenity. Obviously I don't think that would happen unless the village particularly wanted it to happen. I learned at that committee that it doesn't matter if you have more than one pub remaining in the village, it can apply equally to any pub in any village. So there can be a number of pubs that can be protected in any village. The thing I wanted to bring to the parish council's attention is that there is an added protection afforded to pubs if they are listed as assets of community value. Only 11 out of the 132 pubs cited in the report have this protection. I think all that it requires is for either the parish council or 12 residents to nominate their pub as an asset of community value. I'm just reporting this neutrally. It's apparently very unpopular with publicans, and I must admit I haven't raised it with either of the publicans in Shepreth. When I mentioned it to the landlord in Meldreth, he was sanguine about it. I feel the Article 4 direction will probably be enough, and it doesn't look like we are in the sort of position where it's going to be needed in Shepreth. Phil Cup Field. I reported last month there are material deficiencies in this planning application for a high-tech greenhouse with its own means of power in the form of an anaerobic digester and other sustainable applications. A lot has been misreported about this scheme. For me, the most helpful piece of information in gaining an idea of the purpose and scale of the operation proposed was to learn that whereas the AD digester outside Baldock cost £12 million to construct and is solely to process food waste, the total investment in the greenhousing and infrastructure at Meldreth Road is proposed to be just £5 million, of which the AD digester, taking only farmyard manure and green waste, is but a small element. So I leave it to you to draw your own conclusions about whether it can properly be described as a power plant. Be that as it may, there are still problems with the application. The planning department awaits a properly considered traffic and highways report and also expects new plans reconfiguring the layout of the site. This should address screening issues from the Meldreth aspect. I think it's also going to, well, we'll have to wait and see what changes they make with the layout of the site. Certainly the screening issues have been raised by a lot of people. I believe it's properly screened from the Shepreth side. The proposal to site a log cabin for a manager's residence has been dropped. The time for considering the application has been extended, and it is now anticipated that it will come before Planning Committee in May. And that's it.
Thank you.
Philippa, is this going to be a public meeting, or will it be done purely by the planning officer?
No, it's a major application, so it will come before the Planning Committee, which is a public meeting.
So the villagers can go?
Yes, okay. That's
Okay.
always the first Wednesday of the month. I would say that it's going to come before Planning Committee in May with the following wind. I'll let you know next month. I think that's optimistic. Susie?
It won't be the first Wednesday though, will it?
Oh, it's
It's the 13th,
is it
isn't
bank
it?
holiday?
I think it's affected
It's
by,
moved. Okay, I will keep everybody posted. Yes.
I imagine that the accommodations for the manager,
It was.
so that he could be there to watch the dials. Who's going to watch the dials if he's not living there?
I don't know. I think the planning officer felt that it was important not to establish a precedent of a residential use at the site.
Right, makes sense. But I hope it doesn't increase the danger.
No. Okay.
I know I've declared an interest in this, but just I would say that if any members of the public want to go along to that meeting and speak, if you let them know, you can speak at that meeting.
You can. You do have to
So
register.
traffic light system, because I've been along there to
I've been
speak.
before,
Yeah.
doing something with Country Homes.
Yeah.
Mr.
Are
Elliott.
they still accepting letters?
I believe so. Yes.
Because their figures aren't moving at all.
No, it hasn't gone from 96.
It was
and
96
30
and
people
96 and 6 in favour, and that's been reported.
You've looked on the website, have you? They haven't shifted. You mean the website hasn't been updated?
No, I haven't looked on the website. Is that
Well, I
good?
haven't reported anything about the numbers.
No, but it's been reported in the press.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, the press may not have looked at the website either.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Philippa.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, rather than go to reports on the village hall, neighbourhood watch, etc., does anyone mind, as I said, if I bounce now to 469, which is speeding on Barrington Road? We had a letter from a resident concerned with this, and I know it's one that Jimmy's been going on about for a long time. And Susan, you were going to give us a little bit of information on this, correct?
I was going to support the work, yeah. I mean, I've only had a brief correspondence, but I thought it might be worth working together with Barrington Parish Council and looking at the whole length of road if you think that would be a useful thing to do.
Doing the same as Melbourne's doing Meldreth, but changing the speed limit.
Yeah,
They're
Meldreth
on
to Warden is probably...
Meldreth and Warden's going to
Yeah.
run about changing the
Yeah.
speed limit.
Yeah. So
I mean, speeding on Station Road, I've banged on this for 2.5 years. I'm waiting for somebody to be killed on Station Road. I mean, I lie in bed at the front and I can hear them hit the railway lines at 110 mile an hour.
Are you talking
I know
about
they can go 110 mile an hour from the bridge there to the railway lines. Somebody's going to be killed.
Right.
And we've always had, this is why I banged on for speed watch, get speed watch up and running.
Yeah.
Is a change in the speed limit going to stop that? I mean, if you've already got the speed limit and they're doing that anyhow, is a change in the speed limit going to stop that? Not really, is it? I mean, I think what we've got to look at is other ways of dealing with it.
Are the problems, Jimmy, generally at night? Yeah, so you ain't going to stop.
Can I offer an opinion? Sorry, on this.
The speed limit sign ain't going to help.
To my mind, the problem is that you've got at the end of Barrington Road where I live, you've got it going from a 60 mile an hour zone to a 30 mile an hour zone. So as cars approach the village, they go from 60 to 30 and they're only just starting to slow down when they hit the level crossing. Going the other way, if they know the road, they know there's a 60 mile an hour sign where the houses end, and so they see that as a target. So coming from the bridge potentially all the way up, they can be, and I'm sure Jimmy's seen it. I mean, they've absolutely fly by. I've sort of timed them, knowing the distance, and they're going well in excess of 70, which is at least higher than the speed limit.
So, are you recommending, Susan, that we actually speak to Barrington?
Well, there are a few things that I would recommend.
Right, give us some recommendations.
So you can't. I wouldn't just apply to change speed limits. No. I would look at a package of. That's what they call it, a package of measures. But other villages that have done it and successfully changed speed limits. Okay, Haslingfield, when you go out toward Barton, they now have a 40 mile an hour lead-in to the 30 mile an hour from quite some distance. Meldreth to Warden now has a 40 mile an hour stretch between the two.
We've also got chicanes in there now as well.
Sorry?
We've got a chicane in there now.
In Warden, yeah. So, and Meldreth has also extended its 30 mile an hour limit. No, one measure will not solve a problem. And if there are various ways of, sorry, I don't want to come across as too disjointed. The most successful schemes are those where the village does have a speed watch. The premier villages for speed watch. They have, and we don't have time to accumulate years of experience, but they both have evidence. We can all say, I've seen a car going 100 miles an hour past my house, but we don't actually know that. We don't. And so your argument will fall flat, and you can't actually make an argument unless those speeds are recorded on a regular basis through a period of time. So that's number one.
How long a period of time are you talking?
Yeah, to get the evidence.
6 months? A year?
I don't think you need a year. We could get some advice about that. I would say, personally, I'm on the committee that is looking at applications like this, and I've heard other councillors talking about it. You know, if you can demonstrate a pattern of data that's telling you something, then you're in a better position. Mm-hmm. So I personally would say a few months would be helpful. If you have a plan and an end result that you want, and a vision for speed limits and different types of traffic control that you might want to factor into next year's precept, that kind of thing, you want to look at a range of things to help change the behavior. That's it, isn't it? Mm. So, speed watch in your key areas. A bit of research on what type of measures other villages have already implemented, because other people have done the work before, and we might as well take advantage of that. Great Chisel has invested in interactive speed limit signs on the edges of its village. Melbourne is going to be putting them in. You might want to go up to Great Chisel and have a look on New Road, yeah. And then they have one that you can actually put in different places. So they've got a stand at different ends of the village, and they change their cameras around, so it's not always in the same place. As you know, you've got to be on your toes. Traffic calming is very expensive in the kind that you see in Barrington coming in from the cement works. That's very expensive. New Road, Melbourne, very expensive.
What kind of expensive, just so we know?
We have many thousands. We have a price, a shopping list of measures. You can, I would say that in all the cases I'm aware of, the parish has said, we really need this change. It'd be nice if we get a little money from the minor highways pot, but actually we really need this change, and we're going to plan for it, and we're going to put it in our precept, and we're going to be prepared to pay for it if we have to. But if we have a really good case, we're also going to try to get some funding from the minor highway scheme. So there's usually been a small little group of 2 parish councillors who will sit down and scope out what you want. A speed watch team, if there is one, can help try to fill in the picture of what you're aiming for. So I would think it's useful to have a speed watch effort, and I know it's a lot of work, and I know you need volunteers to do it. And I'd be happy to work with that small group. I don't think you're going to be able to, it's not something that you can just solve tonight. You got to have a long-term plan.
The other problem is because Barrington Road's got no street lights, and people have figured out once you hit street lights it's 30 miles an hour. Barrington Road haven't got street lights, so they think, oh, it's still 60, and they just keep bombing through because there's no street lights at the stations.
Well, there are different types of traffic calming that you can put in, and it does, just because it costs more doesn't mean that it isn't in the realm of possibility. So, but you need to actually sit down and look at the village as a whole and see where the speeding issues are.
So what you're suggesting, if I just get this right, is that we sit down and we, look at that, formulate a plan, but what we also need is some evidence. Because it's no good people just saying, I've seen this, I've seen that. What we need is actual evidence on speed cameras recorded data. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Right. So the
And
first thing we've got to do really is to get that speed watch up and running.
yeah,
Right.
I would also say that in Meldreth and Chisholm, where they have changed speed limits and have speed watch teams, and where the police are not able to be, the speed watch team has recorded a definite drop in speed. It may not be all the way down to 30 miles an hour, but it's definitely dropped.
Right.
And that's been, you've got the data to show that.
Richard.
In terms of recording these speeding cars initially, if you're doing it under the guise of speed watch, isn't there an element of deterrent about speed watch that will skew the figures? It's not passive because you're not recording them doing what you're saying they're doing. You're recording them a lot slower. Does that matter that you've brought the speed down? It's the change in speed that's important, rather than the fact that they were doing 80 and you're now recording them doing 40 and a 30. Because for me that would be quite an important factor though.
Having listened to these speed watch discussions for over years and years, that always comes into it. People say, oh, well, they're all going to slow down when they see us there with their high vis, and we have to be out, we have to be visible, that's the rule, blah, blah, blah. But actually, they're still recording. They go around different places in the village, and they're able to draw a conclusion about there's a higher speed here. And those are the villages that have actually made speed limit changes based on speed watch data, and the same driver behavior is everywhere. People do slow down, but you also get people flying through and disregarding the speed watch people, and in those cases they have the data they need, and I would bet you would get it too. It's probably useful to keep your neighbouring villages informed of what you're doing, because it's usually a common problem on both ends. Every village has this problem, every village. So I'm sure Barrington would be interested. That for them, that their access to Shepreth Station is scuppered because they don't feel it's safe. There's no footpath to begin with. You won't have as good a chance of getting any footway there unless you bring the speed limit down. And so it's step by step by step. If you go to Meldreth toward Neesworth, you know the cross there, and you go to Neesworth, there's a new path on the right, a really very poor path. But if you take that area 2 years ago, it was national speed limit, no path. Now there's a path that's going to be improved, lower speed limit. So it's gradual change. But I think you need to sort of have a vision of what you want and be able to explain it in the parish magazine. So, everybody's aware that there's a problem. I think when we get lots of complaints about it. And these are the steps that other villages have taken. Shall we take these steps? This is how we propose to do it, but we do need a speed watch team. We really need volunteers.
Okay, and basically you think the best villages at this have been Crishall?
No, Chisel.
Chisel, sorry. I always get that wrong.
Great Chisel.
Great Chisel.
And Meldreth.
Okay.
And go and see Haslingfield.
Okay.
That's what we've got to share.
And also, Jimmy, Haslingfield has, in the core of the village, so talking about Station Road, they have put in a 20-mile-an-hour limit.
Past the school.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you might want to make that, if there was support for that, slow people down before that junction.
Okay. That's fine. Thank you, Susan. That gives us some bits and pieces to work with Cyril.
Stoke-on-Quoy, which I go through quite often, that is the best village to slowing the traffic down. And they have got some very simple methods. They've got like a keep left sign stuck in the middle of the road, and you have to stop. And then you go out and you go round it, and then you come to one on the other side of the road. And people leave their cars about a bit, but I mean, that's all you need. Where I live in Falmere Road, if the visitors are having people standing outside, the traffic don't go fast because it can't, because they've got to go like this. That is really all you want to buy, a load of old cars and stick them all up and down the road. At different angles.
Yeah, but Barrington Road's definitely different, isn't it?
I might try parking my car on the verge then and see what happens. It's getting old anyway.
End up losing the side of your car.
If you go, Stoke-on-Quoy is perfect.
Okay.
And they have 3 obstacles, that's all, through the whole of the village, and you cannot speed through that village.
Okay.
Well, you can go in and out if there's no in the middle of the night, but generally speaking, I go through there a lot, and it is so simple.
And reasonable.
Yes.
Right, so we've got a list of things there for
Yeah,
you to
initially we need
start to work around, haven't you?
Reignite
The speed watch.
teams. We did
Yeah.
have volunteers, didn't we?
Yeah.
So now is
It
probably
was all going
time.
to start up
Yeah,
in May,
in May,
Yeah.
yeah.
training,
Yeah.
and this is why I'm going to have to stand down of the speed watch because I'm going into hospital. It's my,
Take it over.
this is my little thing, speed watch. I've been pushing and pushing and pushing.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, when's the training start?
Yeah, is it already booked in? I know you're the coordinator.
It's not booked in.
Oh.
What he said, once the mayor's out the road, we're going to go in with the Barrington or Melville, because Melville's got the camera and we share it with them.
Okay.
He's going to come round and do it that way.
All right,
How
but
many
he's going to.
volunteers did we have? We had quite a few, didn't we?
Well, I was on it,
Yeah, seven.
We had 3 before the council's volunteered.
and then we had to all
About 7 or
volunteer.
8, yeah.
Yeah, so we need.
Can I volunteer, Jimmy? Can you put my name
Another
down?
volunteer. Excellent.
It's just that some have battled for 2 years.
This
And
is lying
it's
in the
unfortunate that when everything's gone up to training,
Yeah.
I've got to go back in the hospital, so I'm stepping back for it, and I'm
Yeah.
going back out.
Yeah.
Most of the Speedwatch teams have a majority of non-parish councillors, and it's really important to get the village
Involved.
running Speedwatch.
Okay, well, we'll run another thing as well, but we'll
Yeah,
put you
we
down, John, and then we'll get
Yeah.
our training sorted and we'll move it on from there, yeah?
We'll do a page in the newsletter as well. Happy to do another thing in the newsletter about it.
Lovely.
That'd be good,
Thanks.
you.
If you can, that would be great. Okay, fine. Right, thank you, Susan. You're now free to go
Thanks.
for your family meeting or whatever it is. Right, reports and updates and decisions and actions relating to Village Hall, Douglas.
Yeah, well, Turlo's left
Oh, sorry.
due to pressure of work, pressure of family, pressure. So we've got a new team, and I think we're going to start doing a few things.
Who's in the chair now then?
Me.
Oh, right, you.
I don't
Right.
want to mention
Big
that.
chair.
No, sorry.
What, you're wearing a shirt and tie?
Yeah.
No, I was just wondering. No, I got
I
called
was
out
thinking,
to open the
is it
door.
white or off-white?
I
Isn't
used
used
to use my phone to get it open. It worked. But anyway, where was I? Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a few ladies on the committee because we're very keen on that side of things.
Yeah.
We don't want to be accused of sexism
Yeah.
at any level. In fact, it's almost a majority, I think, of ladies. But anyway, we've got a fair amount of money and we're going to start spending.
You got that list?
And
Good.
one of the first things we'd like to do is get some new curtains. Now that's going to cost about £2,000 gross. I'd like the parish to help with that in terms of we will donate the net amount to the parish and then they pay the gross and then they get the VAT back. So that's my recommendation to the parish for doing that. I
The
don't know if it's
ladies
legal.
are going to make them.
The lady's going to make them, a doctor's going to make them, a woman's going to make them.
So what we're doing is getting the VAT back for the Village Hall.
Yes, I think you
Yes,
could help.
that's the idea.
The other thing is we've written to Dr. Mann to ask if we could move the container to the back of his garden. We realise that there have been problems in the past with people standing on it. He's having a word with senior management, his wife, but we decided that if we put a pitched roof on it, that would stop people scrambling up it. And Cyril could help with that, he said, building it. Also some rather large bits sticking out of it. Yeah, I think you did. You fell asleep just after.
Always.
Anyway, and then we want to paint the village hall and get rid of all that junk there. And as a suggestion, what would really help would be if the football was left and we could use all that at the back and the parish built a nice changing room for the footballers, but that's for further discussion. I did inquire about a shop at the front of the village hall, but, and I must say they came back very quickly, the numbers in the village are too small, they need a population of 3,000, and they also need 2,500 foot, but at least I've got the answer.
This is
Tesco's.
One stop, the one in Meldreth. I asked the manager yesterday, I was quite amazed what the turnover was. 21 grand a week. I thought, brilliant. But anyway, we're too small. So we're not having a shop there, in my opinion. So we can forget that. It was just a dream, but we can bin that dream.
That's right. If you don't ask, you don't know, do you?
Absolutely.
Okay. Fine. All right. Well, it sounds like that's sort of moving on.
Can I ask him a question?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
You said the parish to help you with the curtains and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Now, I could be wrong, somebody's
Yeah.
going to kick me in a minute. The village hall's a charity.
Yeah.
Before the parish can help, we need to know who's the charity and who owns it. Because we can help by donating something to them.
I'm not
but we
asking
can't
for any
give them.
money.
We're not asking for donations.
I'm going to donate. The village hall's going to donate the money to the parish council.
And then get it back again.
Can't be right, but it's brilliant.
We'll have to check with the accountants and Bob and all that, but proposal. But we'll check and see whether it can be done.
Yeah.
I'm all for if we can do things and save VAT for the village, then why not? But we have to check and make sure that we can do it.
But did you say somewhere where the
We'll have to vote
parish
on it at the
council
next
can do
meeting.
all sorts of things?
They can indeed, but that's actually spending their own money. But
Yes.
what I'm suggesting at the moment is that
They
the
spend
parish
their
doesn't actually, it doesn't cost the parish anything.
No.
Other than it does lock up the money for a year until he gets it back from the back man. That I would agree, but I don't think we're short of money
Because you
from
did,
that point of view.
Cyril might be able to remember this. Can you remember when they put the tiles on the roof?
What new piece?
New tiles. Every person in the village bought a slab.
Yeah.
Tile. And that's the whole village to help, and that's how they got it.
Well,
Yeah,
if they want to do that, they can do that, because we need a new roof. But that's not what I'm asking for at the moment.
We're
I'm
trying to get
asking-
this one job done, get these curtains done, which all the ladies want to get done, decorate the place and make it look a bit sharper, and then we'll start worrying about tiles and roofs.
Can I ask that the village hall committee write to the
I will
parish
write.
council
Yeah.
with this? We'll check it out with the
Yeah.
accountants and bits and pieces, and then if
But
we
if
can help
we
out, I
agree-
think we can help out.
The process is that the parish must order, we're going to get it from John Lewis, but
You know you are.
yeah, well, I listen to the ladies, and if they want John Lewis,
Never knownly underspent.
anyway,
I think.
there were pros and cons
Unsold.
on that, but the parish would have to order it and pay for it, and then we'll refund the net. That's the general.
Or you give us the money before we pay for it.
Whatever you
Same
want,
thing.
I'll go along with it.
Okay.
We're looking to
Do you think
find
that's
out.
terrible?
Well,
Any comments? Any complaints?
No, I think if we can save the village money by using the VAT, then I think we could, as long as it's legal and we can do it.
We'll
then
have to
I've
take
got
advantage of
no
it.
problems. We'll take it. We'll take
But it's
advice from the
not
accountants.
parish money
No.
being donated to the village hall.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll await your letter, thank you.
Thank you, Douglas. Neighbourhood Watch. Do we have a meeting? A report from Neighbourhood Watch? Teresa's not here. Have we got anything?
Is it? A lady dropped a letter over. Mrs. Lincoln, I think it is.
No.
Do you want to read it? Do you want to read it out?
No, not really, because I haven't practised.
Well, I received it this evening at 6 o'clock.
Now that Teresa has stepped down from being coordinator for the above, firstly I would like to give many thanks to Teresa for her keenness and commitment in this post. She's always been most knowledgeable and helpful in her role. We've attended meetings with the Police and Neighbourhood Watch and the PCSOs during the term, and I'm sure the village will be in a better place for her efforts. For myself, I've told Teresa from the start that I am not computer literate. My input has been limited, although we have been met on a regular basis to discuss any problems that arose. I'm prepared to carry on as chairman if no other person comes forward. With regard to the promotional printed material, Teresa has, I cannot take on board the storage of associated bits and pieces of Neighbourhood Watch scheme. Finally, thank you, Teresa, for a thorough and professional job you've done for the village in this post. Yours, David Lincoln, Chairman of Neighbourhood Watch. So that's not a report, that's just saying that. What it's saying, basically. But we haven't got a report
No,
from...
that's, I haven't
The only
heard
thing I
anything
have
from
heard is
Teresa.
that the building site at the main road there.
I think she's resigned now anyway, hasn't she?
There's a
said
lot
that
of
she was
crime in
resigning
South
from
Town,
Thames.
the police
But
told me.
Yeah.
Well,
building site at the road got broken into.
Yes.
Nicked all their tools yesterday.
Again,
Yeah.
second time.
Yeah.
Have you seen that house now?
Yeah.
It's got no windows, no doors, and there's a ladder hanging off the top. He's just asking for it.
Anyway, just get cracking.
Okay, so we'll wait and see if a new coordinator is put forward on that. Maid, I have no report on Maid because I went to a training session, a councillor training session with Mr Hanford that night. Philippa, have you got something?
Susie just wanted to ask me to say that numbers attending have doubled and it is going well.
Excellent. Good. Rec warden, Jimmy.
Just asking if there's any news on my dog signs.
Oh yeah, they've been ordered. They haven't
and I could come in the same with the footballers. I had 13 people watching and 2 dogs on Sunday morning.
2 dogs?
Yeah, 2 dogs. And I asked the lady why you got the dog on the rec. She says, I'm watching football, and I says, clever dog. And then Newcastle got beat by Sunderland afterwards, so I thought that was it. We don't need this. That was the only thing, could you just mention the footballers?
Yeah.
We don't mind people watching, but could delete the dogs.
Dogs, yeah. Can you just do a quick email, Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, behind them.
Were the footballers there tonight? They're practicing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they come in, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get in touch with Scott.
Okay.
He might not even be aware, so just reinforce it.
That's fine. Summer fair, Douglas.
Not much to report really.
There wasn't. I'm sorry.
Chugging along.
I forgot your meeting. I do apologise.
You weren't alone.
No. I think most people forgot your meeting.
A few turned up.
3-1.
Nothing to report.
Mid-term report. Yeah, not.
And there's a meeting. When is the next meeting? So everybody knows. You don't know. Okay.
27th.
Is it?
Yes, it's the Monday the 27th because we couldn't have the annual parish meeting.
Monday the 27th.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
Monday the
I
27th.
think, yeah, we can check. I'll put it in the minutes.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, right, 466 planning application, 53 Meldrith Road, Shepreth. Who's got the...
Richard's got the
folder on plans.
You've all seen it, haven't you?
Yeah. This is... hold on a minute, hold on, what have I got here? That's not it.
That's it.
2-storey extension, first floor extension over garage, entrance lobby, new garden wall with vehicular and pedestrian access and side gate. You've all seen the plans, you've seen the plans, yeah. Cyril, you've seen the plans, Jimmy, you've seen the plans. Have we had any objections from letters from anybody in the village?
No correspondence about this one.
Okay, any comments, gents, about this? No?
Anyone like to look at it again?
Anyone wants to look at it again?
No.
Are we happy to go to a vote on it then? Okay, those in favour? Those against? Okay.
Could you please, it's this green.
Blue one?
Thank
It's next door to Mark's, isn't it? Mark's
yeah.
It's next door to Mark Thomas's office.
Okay, finance, 467, cash and cheques. Do you want me to read this out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, this month we have £297.18 deposit on the marquee for the summer fair, £105 chair training, we have £660.37 street lighting invoice, we have £81.95 Charles Cook. That was because our website came out of his credit card, but we've changed that now.
It's the annual maintenance.
It's the annual maintenance for the, but you've changed that, haven't you?
Yes,
yeah, we've changed that. I think that was something that we overlooked, and it came out of his credit card, so he contacted us. Clerk's salary £451.34. Affiliation fee for Capalc £262.53. Royal British Legion £25 donation towards World War I exhibition, and Sovereign £355.13 deposit on safety matting for roundabout and old school field. So there's a bit of signing to do.
So that Charles Cook's the last one you get?
No, those ones. Some of them have got
Charles Cook's is the last one you get.
Yeah, it was purely and simply a mistake. It was something that we overlooked. It was, I mean, when we were doing the handover, we went through everything, but he forgot all about it.
Would you like to
It's not for Charles Cook. The money was taken out of his account. Yeah. No.
It's good. We had proof, and I've sent. It's all been sorted out now. So. That's the
That's the money that's coming out of
salary,
there.
that's what we invoice.
What we got, isn't it?
Oh, I forgot, yeah.
Who's nicked my agenda?
I don't know. Did it come under here? No? Has it got something under here? Is it under here? There you go.
Ah,
There you go.
yeah. Okay, while you're doing that, provision for annual return and bank reconciliation. This is just a draft which you're going to send round, aren't you?
Yeah, I've sent round the income expenditure and the bank balances for the end of year. These will all be delivered to the internal auditor hopefully on Monday, and the signing off will take place at the annual parish meeting of the figures for last year, the bank reconciliation and the annual return. And the audit will take place next week, and then there will be a period when the electorate are able to look at the folder with all the figures in.
Yep.
And this will be advertised on the notice board.
All the accounts.
Yeah, all the accounts as they can every year. It'll be this green form that gets filled out, and it'll be presented at the annual parish meeting, and then it'll be available on the website anyway. So when it's all done.
You can hang on to that, Jimmy, if you want. I've seen it and got a copy, so if you want to hang on to that and go through it, you're more than welcome to. Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Yep.
Well, can I keep that? Thanks. You've got all that. I've sent you that on email. You've got it all.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
What else have we got? I think that's it really.
That was it.
Yeah. Clerk's report.
Okay. While you're signing away there, 468 Clerk's report.
Okay. Okay. A variety of tasks: meeting agendas, drafting minutes, displaying agendas, distributing agendas, vacancy notices, responding to inquiries, email and phone, dealing with complaints, dealing with the media and quotes, planning applications, finance, income expenditure, bank rec, PAYE, invoices, a lot of audit preparation, updating website, reading council documents, April newsletter copy, banking, roundabout project, allotment viewings and paperwork, meeting with the new grounds maintenance contractors, and coordinating the annual parish meeting. That's some of the tasks.
Excellent. Okay. Any questions of our clerk? Gents?
Busy month.
It's always
Yeah,
busy.
busy.
It's always busy.
Busy,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's always busy.
Has
Just
been
looking-
busy.
Just replying to the emails is busy. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, 469 we've already done, so we are skipping to 470. This is playground inspections. This was raised last month. I think we've checked and double checked with this that the weekly playground inspections are recommended, but they are not essential.
That's right, yes. We've got an email here from the insurer.
God, that's
double
tiny.
checked it. I know, it's printed out small, I don't know why. Do you want me to read it?
Yes, you can, I can't see it.
I need my magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Hiscox Insurance, who now provide cover for Shepreth Parish Council, do not require inspections of playgrounds undertaken in order to comply with their policy terms and conditions. However, there is a general condition included in nearly every insurance policy that requires the policyholder to take reasonable steps to prevent injury or damage arising. So basically they're saying that it is recommended that we reinstate the inspections.
But it isn't an
It's
actual
not,
condition of
no.
the insurance policy, and we don't have to close down the playgrounds if it doesn't happen.
No, that's correct.
Right,
But
okay.
I think we should reinstate.
So I think we should reinstate the inspections. I mean, I think we were doing it last summer, but then through the winter it is a bit tricky, because I mean, I'm never here in the winter in the
We've got the annual
day.
inspection on the
Could you,
playground
the
equipment.
initials, sorry,
This
the
one's
initials
done.
as well.
Yeah. So I think that
Annual inspection,
we
once that's
should-
done, we'll get that.
is everybody happy to take their turn on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go round there every
Basically, it's just a visual inspection, and you're not held liable if you don't see anything.
Yeah.
You're not
You're not asked to climb up and
Okay.
check the chains and bits and pieces like that, but it's just a visual
Normally,
inspection.
normally I put it across on the
Thank you.
recreation report, don't I?
Mm.
That,
Yeah,
the things
yeah,
that
you're
spot.
really good, Jim.
Yeah, yeah, you are good. I mean, we did do it and we let it slip, and as I say, I think it was last summer that everybody was doing it, and then it would slip through the winter, because obviously it's harder for some of us to do it in the day if we're not here in the winter. Absolutely ran there with my torch. So you will reinstate that, will you?
Yeah, I'll reinstate it. I'll send
Okay.
out a spreadsheet.
Fine, no problem at all. Okay. Any questions on playground inspections? No? Okay. Right, 471, John Smith commemoration plaque. We suggested a planter and having that engraved, and Cyril's had a bit of a quote on that, which has turned out to be quite a lot of money, which I think was £475.
Plus the engraving.
Plus the engraving.
If you want what he said, it was 625 quid.
Yeah. So,
That's an oak thing, you know, quite a nice one.
Yeah. You've been, and we are now, or you are now thinking more in line of, would it be a good idea to have a tree with a plaque, which is going to be...
Most people I spoke to thought that that was quite a lot of money. Some do and some don't.
I would concur with that.
I don't know. And do we have to do that for everybody? So once we sort of... I don't know, it doesn't bother me really, but I went round to the gentleman round the corner and said, look, could you do something like this? Because Mrs. Smith said I want it this long and I want it like this and I want legs and this. And he sort of worked it out, and with carving the name on it, it was like 625 quid, which I thought, and most other people that I've spoke to thought that was quite a lot of money for. But if that's what you want, it doesn't bother me.
Well, it is quite a lot of money.
Yeah. So I've asked several people about buying a tree. You know, I don't know anything about gardening. You know that, but a tree that flowers out in the spring and that sort of thing, which we could set somewhere with maybe a plaque beside it to say something. Well, that wouldn't be asked much money. But then the next question is, where do you plant it? And I've had suggestions of on the War Memorial, where we took that tree down not long ago, well, a couple of years ago, right on the Meldreth corner. Some people say up Meldreth Road where that seat is. Lots of places. So you can just decide.
I'm sure we can find somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just anybody in the public on this?
Well, I'm just laughing because Serinda's suggestion was a brass plaque on the actual
post.
Because on the village sign, because that's what John got for the village.
That's right, yeah.
And now it's sort of extended in something enormous instead of sticking to what he's suggesting.
I don't mind.
I think John did a lot for the village.
He did.
And he was instrumental to that.
Yeah.
That alone. I believe that something should go on there, not planted right around the village, or it should be
on the village side.
At that sign.
And trees get damaged.
Instead of a brass plaque, and it's got a wooden post, isn't it? So
yes.
Can
why can't you get that engraved?
Can that be engraved in the same?
I don't know whether that's the type of wood that you can engrave. You know what I mean? Yeah. When you do oak, it sort of don't. I don't know. I don't engrave. I can make inquiries if that's what you want.
Well, you actually engrave into the wooden post.
I'm sure you can engrave that. Yeah. The guy obviously has got to come out. Whereas sometimes if it's in the factory,
well, they can do bus shelters quite well, can't they? Engrave those, so I'm sure they can do.
I don't really mind. I just go around and asking people and getting ideas. And
well, I think you should put the vote from tree. What do you want?
I mean, you know, I think the first thing you need to do personally is we need to give a budget. Yeah. You know, if we're going to do something like this, you know, we need to say.
I think the brass plaque would look nicer on there with his name on it. In my eyes,
I agree.
A brass plaque would look. I think that would look. You know what I mean? Really.
Regardless of what Syringe said, I think.
No, it's just I think a brass plaque on there.
Just screw it straight on the post.
On the post, it was engraved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His name.
What would you like on it?
John Smith.
I'd put John Smith, rest in peace.
Villager.
Well, I think you need to put John Smith date and the chair of parish council and the date that he was chair of parish council. You need, you know, I think you need to have that on it, don't you?
See, the post is only about that width.
Yeah, I
don't think you can have a plaque.
Too much.
What?
You can.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'll do whatever you like.
That size, see what goes on.
Tell me what you want on it.
John Smith, parish chair, date.
Parish chairman.
Can you work out some wording Maria?
Yeah, I'll work
We
out
can
some
do that.
wording.
Because perhaps
I'll
you're
email it
better
to
at
you,
that,
yeah.
working out some wording.
Yeah, I'll work out some wording out and
The post is about that width.
Nobody
Yeah,
decided.
and I'll check, you need to check.
Probably not quite.
Anyway, I'm sure we can come up with something that's apt. and
What's
he would
stupid?
be pleased with.
You need to check them.
Are you looking at me? Sorry.
Well, I thought you heard you say that's stupid. Did you not?
I did.
You never say that.
I will see you.
No, I wasn't listening to you, sorry.
Well, I don't know. That's what I want somebody to tell me something.
So are you voting?
I did
Not wasting time.
Well, I think what we've got to do find out is we've got to find out first of all how much this plat's going to cost, isn't it? I mean that's the whole point of it, or whatever we're going to do, or just go ahead and order it, or do it on a round robin. Are we happy to do it on a round robin email, or do we want to set a budget for it, or whatever? I mean I have no idea how much
Does
cost
this
that's cost.
sound dumb? John Smith, who did so much for the village of Shepreth. What do you think, Bill?
No, I don't mind.
I won't
Well,
worry
you
about
don't
the
mind.
words, we can work that out.
Does anybody like it? Something along those lines?
Yeah,
Right.
work out some-
I'm no good at writing words. I'm sure there's
I
somebody
wouldn't go into
that
too
can.
much detail.
Just in memory
Any
of.
suggestions?
I'm
Remember
sure.
Bill?
In memory
And
of
then you
John
need to put
Smith.
when
Memory
you
of John
yeah,
Smith.
that's it.
I'm sure that there's somebody that can put some words together and.
What's the
Um,
idea?
What's that?
In memory of John Smith.
Well, if somebody tells me, I'll do it.
That's it.
in memory of
It
Johnson.
doesn't have to be now. Think about it till
Yeah.
next week. I can get it done fairly quickly.
That would be very nice.
Things like you,
In gold.
Okay, so what do we want to do on this? Do we want to take a vote that this is what we're going to do, or do we want to set a budget first of all, or do we want to find out how much this park is going to cost? They want to know the wording on it, the size of it, and all that sort of thing before we do it.
And then we'll
Let's get-
put some
get-
words on an
Sarah,
email.
get a
Just
cost
the
first.
rears or something.
It's quite
What
difficult
have you got on there?
to get a plaque made, excuse me, if you don't know what you want to write, because they charge per, don't they? So you can't say, how much is one of these pots? Well, what do you want on it? I don't know.
We'll let you know the words, don't worry.
Why don't we put some words together and let you know the words
Good.
and get a price on it and get it,
Thank you.
and then we'll do a round robin email and see what the price is, and then let's get on with it. Yeah, because otherwise we'd be sitting here.
That's what you say.
Well, we'll be sitting here forever.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I said, that's why I
So
put it right down here.
Get one, two, let's
Okay.
down.
Right. Let's get some words out then. Yes.
Thank you.
Is there somebody there who can write some words?
Volvo to say.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank you. Okay, we'll do that then, Cyril. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Right, a bit of housekeeping now. This was the risk management and financial regs, which we talked about last month. There are two numbers here, 272 and 273, but they both basically are the same thing. The financial regs we are going to have to change when we change the bank account, but at the moment we won't be changing that until after the audit anyhow. So all I want to know is everybody happy with the risk management and the financial regs that we've got at the moment. We did ask them to let Maria know if there are any changes prior to this meeting, so I assume that everybody's read them and are happy with them. And if they are, I just want to take a vote that we're just happy with those at the moment, and then we'll change the financial regs after we change the bank account. So are we happy with those?
Yeah.
Yep, so those in favour? Oh, let's have a proposer and a seconder. Can I have a proposer?
I'll propose it.
Seconder? Those in favour? Those against? Okay, fine. That is for 472 and 473 financial regs as well. 474, playground equipment on the recreation ground. Jimmy, this was you. You had a look at that and came up with a list of bits and pieces to be done.
Yeah, this is the list.
I think we're printing things way too big here.
Yeah, I know, it's too small. Repaint and varnish the pagoda, clean and repaint slide.
Are you saving ink?
Swings. I don't know why it's printed this small.
Right, okay.
Repair fence, and also can we look at an inspection of the equipment on the wreck? There is an inspection due in April. It's going to be happening at the beginning of May, the annual inspection. So would you like me to get 3 quotes
Yes.
for this?
Yes.
What, for all of it?
Yes.
I thought we know what we discussed. You know better. We were going to paint when I fixed the roof back on the whatever
Oh
you called
yes,
it.
yeah.
But that has never got painted.
Because I said I'd stain it.
Somebody said they'd stain it.
I said I'd stain it.
But that hasn't got done.
Is that on there?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
on
let's
here.
just do it as one
Repaint.
thing.
Let's just do it as one thing. Let's get a quote and
Yeah.
do the whole lot. Get 3
Yeah.
quotes and then bring it to the next meeting. Yeah?
Okay.
Because we need to try and get that done before up with some affair.
Yep.
So that looks
Smarten it up.
Yeah.
That's what's said for the
Sharp it up.
but nobody's painted it.
No, we agreed to do the list. I think that's it.
I will go round there and paint that roof because I did say I'd do that.
You will?
I will go and paint
Good
that
chap.
roof.
Good chap.
Alright? Well, I'll stain it.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll get 3 quotations and see if we can get that back to next month, yeah? And we can get that on and start to get that moving. Right, any comments on that? Gents, we all happy with that? Yeah, okay. Right, 475 Village Hall Car Park, JJ.
What caused a bit of havoc regarding lights, how people found out we're going to put big spotlights and everything else over people's gardens, and I don't know how they found out, but never mind. I've come up with a suggestion.
Well, it was discussed in the meeting, wasn't it?
It was on film.
And then it was on film.
Yeah.
I've come up with a
it's not
suggestion. I don't know how the parish, right? Because I wander around at night
I've heard.
with the dog and the ferret and everything else. Now, the village hall have got a nice new spotlight about there, a little one. Could we not approach them for the winter and say, if we purchase one and put one on the back side here and the back side there on one sensor, and in the winter when it's dark, it's on a timer, so when people go in there, the initial light of the that is the deterrent.
That was what we were going to do originally, wasn't it? And that's what we started to look at. And then all of a sudden it grew to CCTV, barriers, hedges being cut, and a million streetlights up.
For the moment, we need to get...
Can you explain precisely? I'm not
And about
where you want
100 grand later.
Where you've got one there,
Yeah,
a
I've
big,
got
big
one
one.
Yeah.
So it's shines
Yeah, I
straight
know
in
where
the car
that
park.
is. The ones you're suggesting.
And the one on the back corner here.
But
So
not-
it shoots down as well, but with a sensor. So you've got the sensor on the side here.
So you want to light up the drive?
No, you'd light up that corner going down the car park, and this corner here, down that side.
So you're adding one more light.
You want one more spotlight, you know, the,
I
on a sensor.
I don't think the lighting around the village hall is too bad now. It's in the far corner
Yeah,
where the
but
problem is.
if we put one on that corner,
That
that will
shines that
literally
far.
go straight across the car park. It's not gonna hit anybody's garden. There's one on the back of my house, and I hit the bottom of my garden.
Well,
with mine.
I think it's a good idea if it works. I'm not sure about the angle and the...
Yeah.
For
Well, I
the
think
moment-
if you get something up, you can adjust
For the
it,
moment,
you can tweak it
So
around.
we
can't
go
you?
forward on these other things, but we need something for the winter.
But that,
Yeah,
No,
but
I'm not
this
against lighting up the car.
was what we were going to do originally before, as I say, the whole thing
Yeah.
just, it
So I think we
snowballed,
need to
didn't it?
get that up and running ASAP regarding the lights on the roof, so we've got a timer. The initial lights come on, people's going to start thinking, because they're starting to recongregate again.
Okay, well we're
And
right.
also the light that is there now, that doesn't come on with a time or anything, that needs to be looked at as well. I wasn't involved in that.
But you'd include that in your
They just
sensor that you're going to
got
put
it
there.
done.
Yeah. So you get a sensor on the side here, which will hit both lights. As soon as it gets triggered, you know what I mean, it'll just send them straight off. I think that would be an idea for the moment. Short term. And we'll
I don't think you can come to a lot of harm, as long as it works. I'm not sure about how far the garden comes out, Mr. Mayor,
Well,
whether you can get it
I've got
into
one
the
on the
corner.
back of my roof.
No, I know
It's not
lights
dark.
work, it's just they don't block
Well, it's
by
just
trees.
it's initial, the lights will come on to start thinking. It's a deterrent at the moment, isn't it? That's what we need.
Yeah, I don't know what happens if they're there for an hour, which some of them do. don't
One of the problems we had with this is I had an electrician, which it all started off, I was going to get to quote for it, and the electricians I spoke to are very, very reluctant to get involved with working for parish councils because they said it's a pain in the backside, somebody will complain, and
Who
it
done
ain't
that?
worth it, eh?
Who done that?
And it ain't
Well,
worth
I
the
can
hassle.
get
So I
you
don't
the
know if
name
we've
of
got
the guy
some...
who put that one up.
Well, let's do that then. Can you do that? And let's get a quotation on it, and then...
But I know
If it's
I've got the
under,
bit.
under
Okay.
a certain amount, we can do it. We don't need
Yeah,
three quotes.
well, we need to
check.
get the, we need to write to the village hall to make
Oh,
sure
yeah.
the chairman of the village hall.
God,
Yeah, you got to write to me.
Yeah.
If you write to me about the
Yeah.
curtains,
Ooh.
and I'll write to you about that. Is that all right?
Yes, I think we can sort that out.
Okay, right. So we'll do that. We'll write a letter and waste a bit of money.
Because I have approached the next door neighbour, but she's leaving before long to see what we put on the top of her roof. Seems that shed I built next door, but she's moving before long.
Isn't that a good reason to do it?
She would have given us permission to put it on the roof, but she said leave it to rented accommodation.
Okay. Can you have a word with that electrician then, and I'll write to the village hall committee and...
I'll give them.
Okay, great, fantastic. Alright, Jimmy?
But I think Jimmy ought to firm up with Maria exactly what he wants.
Yeah, if you firm up where you're thinking of... Yeah.
Before I meet the electrician, you can meet the electrician with me.
Yeah. Okay. Right, okay. 476, football changing rooms, DB.
Disaster.
Well, yes, I mean, if I put on my village hall hat, we're not happy with the footballers because they're messy, very, very messy. Also, with all this stuff, we could do with that room. So I could request, get lost, go and build yourself a changing room on the rec.
We don't want to do
But
that.
I'm not.
We need the footballers.
Oh, well, no, I'm
well,
saying...
we don't need them, but we need
No,
something
absolutely.
to be played on the recreation ground.
If you put the parish hat on, we've got a recreation ground, we should have footballers on it.
Yes.
I accept that completely.
Good.
But what I'm saying is maybe we should consider, I don't know if we can afford it, I believe Barkway are building a little changing room, and then I had a word with the architect and he says it's 50 grand.
Yeah, well,
because he said these days it's like building a little house. He said it's got to have insulation, it's just like a house. So you're talking about that sort of money, but it would solve the problems of storage here, and it would be on the rec. And it's the footballers strictly are not the village hall problem, but I'm not looking for an argument. But that's the position. So it needs some thought. And you tried to do it many years ago, don't you think?
Yes.
I spoke to that architect again today and reminded him he was going to come down and have a look at the pitching of this back room here, where you could try and put a room up there as well. But I'll chase him again on that. But I mean, we can write to the footballers again and say that, you know, the village hall committee have been on to us about the state that they're leaving the changing rooms in again, because I've been out there tonight and
what is all this tape that they leave?
I put it around their socks,
They
don't they?
don't have any elastic like you used to. They tie tape around.
When you played football, what did you use to hold your socks up with?
Look, when I was in Rio, we didn't have even shoes.
Like Jim Douglas in a pair of football shorts.
Okay, we'll write to the footballers again about that. Okay.
Yeah, they are messy.
No. Okay,
well,
that's
I
fine.
mean, that is when it's wet out there, you can't help mess.
No, but you can clear up a little bit still.
Yes.
Yeah, their cans are festooned.
Well, I know that they shouldn't do that. I get onto them. No end, but
But
say, yes, we won't.
They're lovely.
I think the wreck is left a bit better now, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's left a little bit better, isn't it?
About that.
Yeah.
Keep sticking your head over the fence.
Yeah, but it is left a little
No,
bit better.
they are.
isn't
They're
it?
better. They do clear up most of the cans.
So I go round there on a Sunday and that when they
bit
play,
of black
it isn't too
tape is
bad.
what they tie around their socks. It's like insulation tape, but then they take it off and chuck it down on the way here. Like, but that's not the end of the world.
No.
Right, well we'll write to them again on that.
Yeah.
Okay, 477, correspondence received. Maria.
I've had one freedom of information request, and then one complaint which was dismissed.
Okay, I've had correspondence from Andrew Lansley, basically saying that the people filming this are concerned that we are making it difficult for them to film the meetings. I didn't think we were. I don't know, David, what we're doing wrong. What are we doing?
I haven't seen a letter, so I can't comment.
Okay, I've got a copy of it here, so I can give that to you if you want. Yeah, oh right, yeah. I'll give you a copy of the letter, so I don't know what we've been doing wrong or how we've been impeding the filming of the meeting. I wrote back to Andrew Lansley and I said to him, perhaps have a look at it on YouTube so he could see what's being filmed. And he wrote back to me then and said that he can't see anything wrong with it and they've got full view of the parish council and we're not sort of impeding at all. So I'll give you a copy of the letter that went off to Andrew Lansley, and I don't know if you want to tell us what we're doing wrong.
As I say, I haven't heard or seen the letter.
Oh right, yeah.
What do you think we've done wrong?
I haven't seen the letter.
No, What, you made the complaint?
No, it
So
wasn't. It was Mrs. Elliott. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. What, you
Sorry.
don't know what your wife wrote?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
You
what
don't
to
know.
see
What,
what
did you know
correspondence
your
comes.
wife had written?
That is between me and my wife.
Okay, no, it's fine. I just wanted to know if we were doing something wrong. If you could tell us
I
what it
didn't
was.
know
we'll
you'd had
try
a
and
letter from
resurrect it.
Andrew Lansley.
Pardon?
I didn't know you'd had a letter.
An email. Sorry, an email.
Yeah. Or an email.
Yeah, an email. Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
Oh right. Okay, fine. Well, I can give you a copy of that if anybody
Well,
wants
he
it.
was
That's
following
there.
up your wife's letter.
Yeah, that's fine. Any other correspondence? No.
Can I-
Okay. Right. Invitation to members of the. Sorry.
Sorry, can I just go back on an item much earlier on with the district councillors, Philippa, please?
Yeah.
Philippa, can I get a clear understanding of what's the situation with the planning application in terms of the timing involved? At the moment, it's with still with June.
It is still with June Pagden.
Jean Pagden, sorry. June. Is it June Pagden, right?
She is awaiting further reports, supporting reports. The traffic and the highways reports need to be submitted. Highways have said that they've lodged a holding objection. I think I reported this last month, such that until issues of routing, size of vehicles, and accessibility to the site are addressed, the application can't progress. I believe the environmental agencies have all signed off on it, and the site is being reconfigured. I'm not sure whether that is actually at the planning officer's request, but that is what is happening.
So at what point does it move from the planning officer to the committee?
Well, she tells me that she thinks it will be in front of the planning committee in May. Prior to that, she will make a recommendation or not. Because they go to the committee, and the officer who's worked on the application will either have recommended acceptance or refusal. That's not necessarily indicative of how the application is going to go.
Okay, so she will make that point and then pass it to committee.
Yes.
When does it come back here?
It doesn't come back here.
So the council's forfeited its vote?
Yeah. No, I beg your pardon. You asked for further.
I didn't ask for anything.
Sorry, Tony.
No,
the
didn't
parish
ask for
council,
anything.
Richard.
We asked for further information.
You did ask for further information. I believe the further information you've requested should be dealt with from what I've said about what further reports are coming in.
So the parish council has forfeited its vote?
No, I don't believe so.
I think it comes back.
Therefore, when does it come back?
When we get it.
It'll have to come back at the beginning of May, or there'll have to be a special meeting, I suppose.
When the
Let's have one
information is
this
available,
time.
we can then vote on it.
Yeah.
It's
before
effectively
that-
a different application, isn't it?
No.
It's not a different one with more information. It's, not,
I
it's
think-
exactly the same.
I think you'll find it's an amended application.
Yeah, it'll be an amended application. Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. The parish council needs to think about when it's going to schedule reconsidering it, or considering it afresh, I suppose.
Yeah, because of the amount of time it took last time to get the message out.
20 days.
It could have a problem
It should
on
be
this
two.
time, because as I understand it, the committee meeting is on the 13th
Yeah,
of May.
right.
So a lot has to happen between now.
Well, you
And
should be
13th of
addressing
May.
this to the parish council more than to me.
No, but I didn't know whether you had because I know it hasn't left June Pagden yet.
No.
And I
Well, as I said, I think May is optimistic.
To find out what's happening. So.
Yeah.
When it's
They were
available,
Maria-
we can then
Yeah,
organise
I've
a
been in
meeting
contact with June
to-
and waiting to hear back the next steps. So as soon as we know anything, I'll obviously let the councillors know.
Yeah.
Gonna let the public know as well.
Oh, of course, yes.
Good.
Yeah, when it's.
That's good.
Okay, thank you.
Well, when we're...
Okay. Any other correspondence?
No, nothing.
No. Okay. Invitation to members of the public to offer suggestions and topics for future debate. Anything anybody wants on the agenda for next month? No, okay. Round the table, Mr. Kenzie, anything for the agenda next month?
Well, I've got a couple of things. I've got written down here, which I write down every time. Light in the phone box, which we was going to do before last winter.
This is what we've got to do. The electrician was the same electrician I spoke to about that, who wouldn't come and do it. They want a call-out charge of how much?
No, only if they find out that it isn't to do with the connection.
I know, but the problem is if it is to do...
I can't remember exactly what it was now. It was 160 something.
Perhaps we could ask
Is there a supply there?
Well, I don't think there is. I've had a little tamper behind that box and I think the power's been disconnected.
Well, the electrician that Douglas is going to recommend, maybe we can get him to...
In that phone box there's a panel.
I mean, I don't know.
You take that off and...
I think they took it off outside. Anyway, I'm just saying that just goes on and on. We went through last winter without a light and with...
Can we get that electrician to look at it?
Yeah.
I can ask.
Good.
A member of the public suggested a solar light.
Yeah. If not, look at a solar light actually, because yeah, that was a good idea. That was Bob, wasn't it, that suggested that?
Maybe that's what we should do anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that's good.
Alright, look at this. Can you find out the cost of a solar light on that as well on the roof? Yeah?
That just comes in the inside.
Yes, right, just put it through the roof.
What else do you have to...
There's talk of moving the container.
Oh yes, I'm waiting to hear back from Mr. Mann, so that'll be on the agenda anyway.
So would you ever ask him if we can put it there?
I've written a letter on behalf of the council with suggesting your proposal as an
And he's
idea in
handed it to
principle.
Stephen Manager.
You said earlier that he's speaking to his wife about it, isn't he? Yeah.
But I'll put it on the, it'll be on the agenda again.
And I have today fixed the lock on the old plumscapes, which you've got now.
Which we've now got.
Back on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kenzie, for that one.
Yeah.
That's it, me done.
Oh great, well I'll make sure they're on next month.
Mr. B?
No, nothing.
Mr. Jimmy?
Just to confirm, I apologise to the public, you won't have my dulcet tones in May on the Parish Council meeting. I'm on holiday, in hospital for 2 weeks. So May I will not be attending the Parish meeting.
We could come to you?
If you'd like to come down to Leatherhead, you can.
Yeah. Day out?
Yeah.
Okay, Jimmy, I hope everything goes okay for you.
Jimmy.
I hope everything goes alright for
Go
you.
on the 4th and come out the 18th.
Okay.
So we'll take it from there.
Richard? Nothing from me. Okay.
That's it.
Oh, well, the only other thing is just to remind everybody, Anish annual parish meeting, 30th of April, 8 o'clock. We've got to do it a bit later because there is Zumba. Zumba on or something. We will be making some cake and refreshments and perhaps even a glass of splosh. I see. Philip is coming now.
I'm not sure I can, I've got a clash.
Really?
No,
Really?
when's the other parish meeting? There's another annual meeting, isn't there?
That'll be coincide with the main meeting.
That'll be ahead of the main meeting because we have that meeting ahead of the main meeting.
Well, we've got to do
It'll be part of the next main meeting.
It'll
be
but
part
won't
of
that
it.
clash with the election?
The
I
election.
don't think so, 'cause it's on
Yeah,
the
the
14th.
election.
The election is...
Your main meeting.
Yeah, we'll use the main hall.
Yeah, it's fine.
We'll just use the main
sort it
hall.
out.
No, but you're supposed to have it after the election, aren't you?
Alright, well we'll hold it the day after the election.
We'll sort it out.
Yeah, no
What time
problem.
did you say the meeting was?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, yeah.
But no, the annual, the AGM will be before that meeting. We hold that meeting before the meeting, then go on to the main meeting where we re-elect chairman, vice chairman, halves, everything. Okay, 2 minutes to 9. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.